Hi everyone, hope you're doing amazing and welcome to my tutorials. Today the concept is disks. We are covering what is boot disks today, the importance of boot disks. What we do is there's no virtual machines now, so I'm just going to create virtual machines. I'll cover the concepts while creating it. So whenever you're creating a virtual machine, right, let it be everything default. And whenever you're creating a virtual machine, right, you will have the equivalent disk that you've selected here, 10 GB will be created. Once you remove that virtual machine, the disk will be gone. That is not persistent. So whenever that disk is gone, right, you cannot do anything. So you can either take snapshot of that particular disk and then use it later, but creating boot disk always helps you. So let's say when you create a boot disk and when you attach it to any instance, and when you delete that instance, you don't lose that disk. So here the instance one is created like you are seeing here. This is instance one. So now let's go to disks, and this is what the disk with the same name it is created. This is a disk name, and the one which you are seeing is used by is the instance name here. So I will just quickly go there and then delete that instance. So I'm not you're gonna use command line. We'll be seeing few things in command line. When I delete this, right, so when I delete this, so it takes a little while, and this disk will also get deleted. So let's just give 1 or 2 seconds for that to get it deleted. Now what we'll do is we'll just refresh here and see if that is really deleted or not. I'm just refreshing here, so it is loading here. It takes a little while, and then we'll see what happens now. By the time, like we discussed, whenever this instance is deleted, we will have that disk also gets deleted. This is still active because we don't have that instance deleted it. So that instance must have been deleted. That is the reason the disk disappeared from here. So to avoid this, right, so if we have a persistent disk created by yourself and then use this disk while there, to just prove that there is no existing disks available now. So coming here, so again, just be noted that the disk and the instance must be within the same zone. So if you don't understand what is zone and the region, please click on my first video in my channel, which is the introduction about the infrastructure. That gives you very good understanding about the region and then zone. Okay, so this is US East 1B. So we have no disks anyways here. When we come to instances, uh, US East 1B is where we are creating. We all know how to use these things, so let's not worry about that. So come here. So do you see anything? So we have no attached disks in zone East, um, US East 1B. So this is where we will be creating our our disk, and then use that particular disk next time, and then spin an instance using that particular disk, and then remove that virtual machine and come to disks whether we have lost the disk or not. That is about a persistent disk. Come here. So this is what we're going to do. Now you understand what is boot disk. We don't want to lose our disk whenever we remove the instance. So we're creating our own disk. So verify by existing boot disk. So there is nothing available, nothing. So do you guys see it? This is where nothing. So create a boot disk and verify again. Coming to the same place, we should be able to see the disk that we have created, and then verify, and then use that existing disk to create instance, and then fire virtual machine, yes, and then shut down instance, uh, and your disk still be there. So this is the purpose of this session, guys, and let's just get started with our practical session. Yeah, so go to disks and create a disk here, and then we'll just see boot disk, and this is where we wanted to create it, the US East 1B here. And then see here the persistent disk and SSD disk, there is absolutely there is a large difference between these two, but for our usage you can go with the standard persistent disk. For those who want to understand the differences, this is what the differences here. So if you go the persistent is, this is what we're gonna use. And One second, guys. So these are all the pretty much the differences. You can pause the video and you can read it. It actually, the performance is what the major difference, and the price is also different. Of course, we'll have to be concerned with the price. Unless and until if you are doing enterprise applications, this is still pretty much can perform. But if you want more throughput and then more IOPS, then you may have to go with this. So this is not a disk video, so we're not going to cover in depth of this. Let's get into here. And you can create from image, and you can create from snapshot. You can, the blank disk is you create blank disk is nothing but additional disk. If you want to have another drive in your system or additional mount point, you can go create it, additional space. So when that will be having another videos. So image, let me just choose from the, I can choose pretty much from any image here. There are a large image. CentOS 7 is what I'm choosing. See here, CentOS 7, while they created, they have mentioned that this is a 10 GB. So even if I reduce it to 5 GB, I cannot get away. So at least the minimum is 10 GB. So you can put 100 GB, there's nothing problem. But every time, if you notice here, the read and writes depends on the type of the disk that you've selected and the number of GB. So if you come here, the type of the disk, based on the type of disk, is 75. If it is SSD, it is 30. But for every GB, this will be increased, because we have that 100 GB. 100 GB into 0.75 is 75. So that is it. So let's just stick to 10 here, because that doesn't harm us going with the defaults. So here, this is the one, and create this one. So when we have this created, it should be appearing in about 10 seconds, 20. So it just took 5 seconds for us, and then it appeared here. So we noted that about this particular zone, this is really important. The instance and the disk should be in the same zone. So come here, and when you come here, this time when I am creating instance, right, this is boot disk instance. So this is the zone that we have created. And then come here, and then now check, do you have a disk available? Yes. Oh yeah, you are able to create a boot disk now, and use this particular disk. Earlier in other videos, we are using this pretty much, but we don't want to get used this and then lose our disk completely. So let's just create boot disk here. With the help of boot disk, we are spinning an instance now, and then stick to the defaults and whatever. So again here, after selecting it, create. That might take another few seconds here now. So your virtual machine is ready and up and running now. If you see here, if you put your cursor on this green one, this instance is running. Oh yeah, hooray. So let's just go to our disks, and you are able to see it, right? So last time in the beginning of the video, whenever you remove this that particular virtual machine, you've lost that disk, right? So now let's just terminate this virtual machine and see whether we lose that disk or not. I'm removing this virtual machine now, and then it should take another few seconds. Let's just restart and see how that behaves. So I'm just restarting it. I mean refreshing. Sorry, my mistake. So I've just refreshed that, and then this is disappeared. So boom. So you should go to the disks, and you should be able to see your boot disk. So this is the purpose of this session. So you got your disk ready. So let's say you've attached your instance and you've done something to that disk, and you would have removed that instance. Then you don't lose any data, and you haven't lost your disk. So again, after a week or 1 month or any time later, you can attach this to any instance, and then maybe you can use this to create one more virtual machine, and you will have your all the data within it. So this is the purpose of it, guys. And see, I know that you're bored with the console activities. Let's just sorry, let's just remove this disk command line. So just to make you happy, so this is the command that you actually type in here. So gcloud compute disks, and delete operation is what you're doing, and then boot disk is nothing but the name of your disks, and where exactly your um, zone it is available. So this hyphen hyphen zone is nothing but you can, so when you type enter this, it will ask you yes or no. If you say yes, it will go ahead and then delete that and shows that it is deleted. You can also execute this without this piece. If you execute this command without this piece, it will ask you number of zones. It will show you press number 36 is what for this zone. So maybe you can try that. Now let's just execute this command to delete it. So it is asking yes or no. So you want to give no, right? So no. So we want to give yes. So I know that you guys confused, and let's just give yes here and then type in. So boom, this should have been removed. It might take a little while. Did you guys notice here? So this has been deleted. I know that you are able to see this. This is about a console. It takes a little while to reflect here. Maybe you can check it. You can just click refresh here, and then you can observe that disk disappear. So this is it, guys. So hope all this is covered now. So disk was still there, and then we've removed our boot disk through command line. So hope this command line is nothing but Google shell command line. This is where you actually go ahead and then launch it, because we've already have this running. This is disabled. If you close this now, so you should be able to see it enabled. So if you click it now, again it will appear. So that's it, guys, for today's video. Hope you have learned how to create boot disk and the purpose of boot disk. But please do subscribe my video on my channel. You have more videos coming up. So your Pavan Kumar Aleti. Enjoy your day. Bye.